have a success story of a young lady who came in. I tried to be discreet with their business, but I would say they came in from a situation that was not good at home. And
what was her age?
I would say when she came in, she was in 8th grade, and she
Okay.
was dealing with being
Okay.
bullied, being geared into trying to join a gang. Found herself really going through a lot as a adolescent.
Welcome to the Southside Show, your local news and information source for Atlanta's South Side.
Welcome to the Southside Show. I'm your host, Artie Jones III. Each week, we shine the spotlight on the Southside's rich culture and colorful history, which has a global effect on faith, economy, politics, and technology. The Southside Show will introduce you to talented individuals, visionary leaders, innovative entrepreneurs, and game changers that make us Southside strong. Our guest today is a community leader in College Park, Georgia. She's a recipient of several awards to include the Rice Awards for Education, Special Recognition Award by the Clearly College Park Development Authority, and the Business Beauty Women of Excellence Award, just to name a few. She's a professional stylist for 16 years, and she's the founder and executive director of the Motherless Daughters Foundation, a local 501c3. I'd like to introduce you to and welcome Rassalyn Rawls to the Southside Show. How you doing, Rassalyn?
I'm doing great, Artie. Thanks for asking.
Okay. Well, thank you for being a guest on the Southside Show, where we highlight the great things that's going on the South Side. Could you tell our Southside Show guest a little bit about yourself and where you're from and kind of how you ended up in the city of College Park in on the South Side?
Most definitely. Thank you for having me today, by the way.
Okay.
And I would like to start out that I started out, I guess as you call it, military brat. I was born in Italy, in Vicenza, Italy, on a military base where my father served in the Air Force. And so we traveled quite often as youth. We have traveled throughout Panama, South Carolina, New Mexico, California, and then we resided and he retired in DC.
Okay.
And so my roots have always been Mississippi because of my grandparents both being reared from there. I found myself there every summer and loved it. So my love for Atlanta was not far-fetched when I decided to move here after attending college at Jackson State University.
Okay.
And so I decided to switch gears from being a biology major into going into cosmetology, which I knew was a first love, ever since I was young. And so moving here, I decided after a couple years to open my own business, which is Exclusive Hair Studio and Spa, which I started right here in College Park on Roosevelt Highway. Stayed there for about 10 years and decided to open a bigger facility to help, service not just clients, but also staff.
Okay.
Giving them opportunities to come in underneath my wing and then also grow into their own businesses. It's something that is very near and dear to me. I also decided to start the foundation at that time, moving right there on Main Street, College Park, which I think I met you at the time.
Right.
So I have actually just been very inspired with helping young ladies throughout the organization, Motherless Daughters, which birthed from that building of me having my business from downstairs and having Motherless Daughters upstairs. Later, I decided that I needed to, with the growth, to divide and give it its own space. So we relocated on Phoenix Boulevard with the foundation, and my business is also off of West Fayetteville Road.
Okay.
So I've been in business now for 21 years.
Okay.
And so I'm, basically I love to do what I do. I love to make individuals feel beautiful, whether it's female, male, or child.
Okay.
That is something that basically truly inspired me, and I love giving back.
Okay. Well, what type of obstacles did you have to overcome when you were opening up your business?
I think some of the obstacles were just learning as I go, because as I said, I was maybe in business maybe for about 3 years.
Did you have a mentor?
When I first started, I had a mentor, but I had relocated here. So
Okay.
my mentor was Tony and Tina Brown. They're located in Jackson, Mississippi.
Okay.
And so they were my mentors in my business part. When I moved here, I actually learned to reconnect with the mentors after I started the nonprofit sector. It was something that was very new to me and dear to me, but I knew for it to be a success, I needed to have strong individuals to be in place of where my weaknesses were.
Right. Okay.
So the mentorship with me started, I would say Zanona Clayton, who is the founder of the Trumpet Awards, and also she has her foundation, Zanona Clayton Foundation, has been a great mentor, sort of like a grandmother kind of mentor as well. And then also Myrna White, I would say, has been involved with me with the foundation probably from the very beginning. We actually started out with Aviation, and I would say Mercedes Millen.
Okay.
Those have been some great mentors in my life.
All right. Now let's move over to the Motherless Daughters Foundation. Talk to me about the Motherless Daughters Foundation, exactly what it is that you do, what inspired you to start the Motherless Daughters Foundation, and then what are some of the qualifications for the young women that actually participate in the program.
Okay, so our mission with Motherless Daughters is to provide services and for young ladies who had obstacles dealing with the unforeseen circumstances of their mother. So some of our individuals that are in the program, they may have a mother and that mother is struggling as well. And so we tried our best to make sure that we give attention to that mother as well in the program if she's going through obstacles. So when we say motherless, it doesn't always necessarily mean a child without a mother. So I think that misconception. So what we like the motherless part of the term Motherless Daughters to come in, missing motherly attributes.
Okay.
So it can be a mother that's just not good with, directing their child into going into secondary education, giving her, direction with career paths, because if you don't know, you can't show. So we believe in making sure that we give that opportunity to our youth free of charge, and not just a one-time thing, but a year-round program. We keep the young ladies in the program for the duration of them being in school until they graduate, and then we also make sure that they have scholarships to attend, whether it's a college, university, or a technical. We make sure to support them. So we are a STEM-based organization, and like I said, my drive to help others is what inspired, but I think when I was partnered with the workforce program with Exclusive Hair Studio, I've done that maybe 3 or 4 years. Notice how the young ladies love to be in the salon working. Right. And I said, now, I know everyone in here does not want to be a salon owner. And that is what inspired me to start pulling in other professionals from other entities and other businesses and companies to come in, which actually worked very well with the girls, gave them a little bit more exposure. For our young ladies, we like to bring them in as early as 9. 9,
okay. Up to?
We cut off the time of bringing them in at 16.
Okay.
The reason we do that, some people say, why you cut it off? We want them to stay and get services, but we also want them to be of service as well.
I hear you saying services a lot. What are services?
So we provide from taking them on flights to trips for weekends. We have done that, giving them exposure, and been able, because of our wonderful partners and sponsors. So Southwest actually would sponsor the tickets for our young ladies, and we would travel. AT&T has provided technology and STEM services for our young ladies for the last 4 years. And I would say just with our city officials and our dignitaries that are partnering with our organization as well as corporations, they have supported Motherless Daughters to provide these services free with no charge year-round for our young ladies. We have a full volunteer-based board and volunteer staff that makes this thing go round.
Okay, so why did you locate the Motherless Daughters Foundation on the South Side versus other areas?
Well, one, I felt like the South Side, where I was located at that time on Main Street, was known for the Global Gateway, and I felt like that was very, very important. And I say that because a lot of times you can have things right here in your backyard and opportunities and not knowing of them because they're not spoken of. So with me partnering with individuals, I tried my best to partner with those opportunities that were overlooked by our young ladies that were in the program. I think also with it being the world's busiest airport. Like I said, we started out back in 2014 partnering with the airport, one of our first events. Was very essential for them to see and know that they can also fly in one of these planes, but not only that, they can also work in the airport or become a pilot.
Right.
So that was why I think the Southside was very near and dear with the resources that we had right here for our youth.
So how many young ladies do you serve each year in the
We
program?
usually serve up to 50 young ladies. What we have done is kept in 20 young ladies in our group, and that is each chapter. So what we pride ourselves on is not so much, I know a lot of people say the quantity is big and it's wow, we did something this big day. But when you're doing something on a yearly basis and you want to touch these individuals and be a mentor to them consistently, I understand that that takes a lot of dedication and time.
Definitely.
So we gear it where we do not go maximum of 20 participants when we bring in at a time for each chapter. And that's in our Fulton and Clayton chapter.
Okay, all right. So what are some of the needs of the Motherless Daughters Foundation?
Of course, you know, with us providing what we do with our young ladies, whether it's clothing, scholarships, trips, you know, even giving them opportunities for classes and workshops. Funding is always something, monetary donations. And that's because we do not ever charge our participants, not even for their uniforms or clothing or lunches, you know, therefore. We want them to come in with a peace of mind that they can provide, you know, that we can provide everything that they need. We just need their dedication and their motivation to show up. I think also in-kind donations are also something that has fueled us with the organization. If I can compare the monetary to the in-kind will most definitely outweigh. I also say volunteers coming in. We always need volunteers. AT&T has been great with partnering with us for this long term. You know, the volunteer, I would say that we are actually approaching our 10th year in April, and they have probably been with us half that time. So, you know, the volunteer part, Ms. V, who is our volunteer coordinator, is awesome with coming in and making them feel at home and, you know, bringing them in and welcoming them into our program and making sure that they understand what the needs are.
Okay. Could you tell me about a success story of one of your young ladies that you've worked with?
So we have a couple success stories, so I'll see which one. So we have a success story of a young lady who came in. I tried to be discreet with their business, but I would say they came in from a situation that was not good at home. And
What was her age?
I would say when she came in, she was in 8th grade, and she was dealing with bullying, you know, being bullied, being geared into trying to join a gang, found herself really, you know, going through a lot as an adolescent. As she came into the program and grew into the program, we actually brought in her sisters underneath her as well. And so she was placed almost as a mentor, to the mentees of her sisters. Okay. And what we noticed about her is that she strived. She came into a program that was offered with one of our dignitaries, where it was a work stay kind of program and go to school. And so she attends Georgia State. Okay. She is about to graduate next year. That's great. She was honored by our governor a couple years ago, where she was honored as Soldier of the Year, Outstanding Soldier of the Year, by the way. And that was awesome to see down at the Capitol, to see her do so well with National Guard, because she actually went through National Guard with school. And she is basically taking care of herself, paying for an apartment, still working with the city, with holding down a job, which she has been doing consistently. When I look at success stories, I look at stories that are still consisting. Still, you know, it's just consistent with keeping up and keeping us happy with the outcome, because that is very important to us with us measuring the effects of our program.
Okay, well, great. Lots of times I hear of a lot of, you know, programs in the community for, you know, youth, and a lot of programs are doing some really great things, but then usually when the children or the young people go back home to the same environment where the issue is happening, that there seems to be the youth that you were helping digresses, do you have any type of services for the parents and those, you know, the grandmother, the aunts, uncles?
That was a good question, because that has been a struggle in our beginning of the organization. We would bring in individuals, and believe it or not, they would go back home to people that you would think who would support them, and they would say, "Oh, you're stupid for even being in that program. You should be why were you?" And most of the time, it's the shame, and
right.
It's just that taboo thing. You don't talk about what we try to make sure. We're not downing mothers at all. When we say motherless daughters, it's not a downer. We want to uplift. So sometimes I think in the early stage, before people really understood what we were about, those same individuals came back and actually volunteered. So we make sure that they volunteer. They have to sign a contract. You have to commit, and then if you do not commit and you do not help with your youth, whether your guardian or whatever, then they will lose their place. Now that has only maybe happened in the 10 years, almost maybe twice, which is great, because we usually keep an 80% retain of our participants. So I think mainly with I would say our guardians, grandmothers, or what have you, kinship, I think making them have a responsibility, making them also involved in feeling part of the organization has superseded that negativity vibe that we were having before. But it's very important to have them involved.
Definitely, definitely. Okay. Does your organization track the status of all the young people that come to your program to kind of see, they started as A and now they're this?
Yes, we have an analyst on our program side, Andrea Caldwell, who keeps up with that. She keeps up with, the metrics. She also keeps up with the metrics of our youth. Our youth program director, who is Nicole Ellis, she makes sure of following up. We stay very much in communication with our youth. So some things, whether it's moving or going back into the system or what have you, we cannot, work that out at times, because that is out of our hands. But one thing that I can say is that we strive in keeping communication open and keeping them involved. We try our best to at least do one event or one workshop, just a touch and go, at least once a month.
Okay.
So that keeps it sort of nice and tight with our communication and just the relationship.
I see that I missed a question. How do young ladies become a part of the program in the first place? Is there some type of referral program? Do you have a website? I mean, how does that happen?
So we do have it on our website, whether you want to come in as a participant, volunteer, or sponsor. And that's Motherless Daughters Foundation .org or .com. We got both of them. So both of those websites will land you right there and how to be involved. We also annually have a recruitment season. And that recruitment season is when we actually go out on social media and we invite people directly, referral wise as well. But we are at the point now where we are approaching our recruitment, which is in April. So each year around our anniversary, we recruit individuals. We actually had 2 young ladies to graduate this year, and they're attending college. So we have those 2 spaces open, and then we're still growing in the Clayton County chapter.
Okay. So I know that you're located on the south side and you have 2 chapters, one in Fulton County, one in Clayton County. So how does your organization, are you looking at expansion in the future into other areas, and how would that happen?
So our goal is to bring in a chapter every 2 years if possible. It has been challenging the last 2 years. Our next chapter, because of COVID, exactly. So our next chapter that we would like to open is in DeKalb County. We already have partners and individuals that have been involved with Motherless Daughters from the beginning. And so I think with us growing, we're very careful in how we do it, because if we do it, we want to make sure that we do it in a manner that same level and same standards as the first 2,
Yes.
So we are looking to expand very soon into our new chapter.
You mentioned earlier how you could be contacted as far as referrals, but how, if somebody were interested in actually participating in your program, giving money and everything, I'm assuming that that would also happen online through your website?
So if you go online and you go how to participate or how to get involved, it'll have 3 links. It'll have one for participants to come in, it will have another for volunteers, and then one for sponsors as well. Okay. So we try to make it very easy accessible for you to be able to go on our website to sign up.
Okay. And finally, I heard it's the Motherless Daughters Foundation, but I heard that you recently had a new program where young men were actually invited to participate. Could you please tell us about that program and also the upcoming event?
Yeah, so this is basically the first time ever we invited males with our program.
Same age group?
Same age group.
9 to 16?
A little older.
Okay.
A little older. We are actually gearing the Aviation program, which is called Youth in Aviation, from 9th to 11th graders. And we're doing that simply because of them coming in and being involved with the organization, where so they are finding themselves being involved constantly at the airport for that week. Everything is going to take place there. They will even show up there to leave to go on their discovery flight, which will be a treat for them at the end of the camp. So it took a certain age range for those
for that particular
activities.
program.
Yeah. Now it is male and female, as we said, and we're very excited. We have First Officer Maurice Mack, who is a pilot with United Airlines. He also was one of the creators with OBAP. So he is very familiar with the program with Aviation and coming in and giving these youth a great opportunity. Hartsville Airport is our title sponsor and partner with this program as well. Been very exciting, and it's been an anticipated event. So we're looking for it to kick off for this spring break camp, but it will take place all throughout the year with workshops. On the 23rd, I'm sorry, got to cut the. On the 22nd of April, we will have a ceremony, which will be a pinning event banquet for our youth that have completed the program. So we're very excited about that.
Okay, well, great. Well, is there anything else that you would like to leave our Southside Show guests with?
I would just like to say that I'm very thankful and grateful for you having me on the show to give me an opportunity to share about the foundation. And if anyone wants to come in, like I said, they can email us at motherlessdaughters.foundation@gmail.com or visit our website at motherlessdaughtersfoundation.org.
All right. Well, thank you, Rassalyn. Thank you for all that you're doing on the South Side. You're a very busy person, managing a business, owning a business, and also the Motherless Daughters Foundation. We appreciate all that you're doing here on the South Side, and we look forward to hearing from you with accomplishing bigger and greater things.
Thank you.
All right. All right. And that's a wrap, folks. My time is up. My name is Artie Jones, and I'm the host of the Southside Show, bringing you the latest and the greatest that the South Side has to offer. And if you don't remember anything else, please remember this. Don't sleep on the South Side.